last video, we talked about how to save money at a young age and how to start now. Today, we're going to talk about the tips for success. What are some extra things that you can do in order to make sure that you can save that money in the long run? And where can you cut those costs that are showing up in your bank account currently? I do suggest getting a credit card if you have some form of self-control, because most credit cards give you benefits and incentives in order to join their company. And most of these range from you have $5,000 to spend and you don't have to pay it off for 2 years. Or once you hit this limit, you will be able to move your limit up to $10,000. Now, a lot of people don't have the self-control to see that they have $10,000 available on their credit card to spend. But this is something that you need to work on yourself and figure out how to manage your money and know when to stop. I personally never spend any more money on my credit card than I have in my bank account, because if my checking account is way less than what I'm spending on my credit card, then it's going to be a real struggle for me to pay off that full amount every single month. But my main recommendation for credit cards, and my first one that I ever started with, was the Capital One Quicksilver card. I really like this because it has a good percentage of cash back and it helps people that are just starting to build credit. I still have that card. I don't use it as much as the other card that I have, but I think it now has a $10,000 or $12,000 limit just because of my increasing credit as I've progressed through my credit journey. There's also cards that like to reward you for specific things, and my other favorite card is my Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card. My husband and I absolutely love traveling. It is our favorite thing to do, and I love spending a lot of my extra money on that because I love having those experiences and visiting new places, and I think it's helpful to my students whenever I'm able to be talking about a topic and reference a place that I've actually been to. I feel like I'm able to help them with their education because I have more of a background in it because I've physically been there. Southwest gives you points towards any potential flight or hotel or rental booking. There's numerous different ways that you can use your points. They kind of replace that with the cashback feature that you would see on a lot of other cards. I love this because in the long run, I would be spending a certain amount of money on a flight whenever it actually ends up saving me a lot more. So just based on using both credit cards, my Capital One and my Southwest, it seems as if based on like the flight amount, I'm getting more cash back with Southwest than I would my Capital One Quicksilver. With the amount of money I spend on my Southwest card, based on the money I get back, I'd probably be able to get an entire plane ticket within about 2 months. So after 4 months, my husband and I have a free plane ticket each. That's been a lot of fun because him and I went to Vegas for like a really short summer trip back in December, and we didn't have to pay for the flight at all. And then we stayed at a more affordable hotel for half of the trip, and I think we stayed at the Golden Nugget, and it was like $70 a night, and we didn't have to pay for our flight, so we literally were just paying for staying there and eating the food and gambling, and I only spent $40 on gambling because I like video poker downtown and it is cheap. That's just another way to save money. The next tip is, and this is something that my family instilled in me before, like way before I ever got a credit card, and that was never spend credit card interest. If you don't pay in full for your credit card every single month, that is where you are going wrong and where you are probably losing more money than you could ever expect. If you just pay the minimum amount due and then let that big dollar sign keep increasing, and not only that, you're also building up interest on all of the money that you haven't been paying off. What I'm talking about with never spend what you don't already have in your account. The whole point of the credit card, if you want to use it to your advantage, is to get the cash back or get the travel points or get whatever you're trying to get with your credit card. You're not trying to reap all of the benefits that they're trying to receive from their customers that don't pay off their bills. So that is helping out the credit card company, and it is not helping you out, regardless of if you see $5 cash back on the money that you still haven't 100% paid off, and now you've accrued $6,000 of bills that now you have to pay back to the credit card company that are going to keep getting larger and larger and larger because you haven't been paying for your bill in full. So always make sure that you pay for your credit card bill in full. Next is purchase groceries via curbside. Almost all grocery stores have access to curbside pickup. You're able to go online and pick exactly what you need for your list. You're not walking into the store and getting influenced by all the other things that you could potentially buy. You're seeing cookies and candy and chips, and they have beautiful sample tables where you taste something brand new and you're like, wow, I can make this at home. And you're getting all of this extra stuff that you do not need. So I 100% suggest that you start trying curbside, and most places don't charge a curbside fee as long as you schedule your pickup time a specific amount of time in advance. When I was in college and they first started doing curbside pickup, I think it cost $5 for me to do the curbside pickup, but I personally thought that even though I was spending that $5 for the curbside pickup order, that it was actually saving me more money than if I went inside for an hour and a half and tried all of those samples and bought Twinkies and zebra cakes and all the stuff that I don't even like, but whenever I saw it in the store, I was like, that looks good. Next, scout gas station prices. I think that there are a few websites out there now that can tell you exactly what the gas station prices are at specific gas stations. So definitely utilize one of those. Or if you're driving through your area, you know that whenever you're in a residential area, the gas is gonna be more expensive than if you're right off a main highway, because this gas station isn't seeing as much traffic come in as the one that's right off the major highway. So why would you just go right outside your house and spend an extra 20 cents per gallon when if you plan it out to where you're on the way to work and you have the gas station that's right off the highway and it's 20 cents less, then you're saving a lot of money there. After you have 5 gallons, you've saved $1, and that is just money that you are spending extra. Next, build a love for cooking at home. And nowadays it has become so easy for us as a society to go out and eat, pick up fast food, or even get food from the grocery store that is more expensive than fresh produce and pop it in the oven, or pull it out of the freezer and pop it into the microwave. This is something that I teach in my AP Human Geography class, so I feel like I could go into it like crazy. But I do suggest that you go ahead and start trying to learn how to cook. If you haven't cooked before, look at some recipes that you like. Start off easy and then build your way up from there. I never cooked anything growing up. I would eat these things that my mom called pizza crackers, which were literally like Triscuits with like some tomato sauce, and I'd put cheese over it and like crushed red pepper and all this other stuff. And then I would eat chicken patties and frozen burritos and all this other stuff that probably was not very good for me. But when I met my husband in college, he kind of taught me how to cook, and I have become this crazy person that loves to cook, and it has saved us a lot of money, because if I didn't like to cook, or if we didn't know how to cook, and we'd be out getting fast food or sitting down in a restaurant every single day, and that is not a good way to spend your money, because I could go out to Olive Garden and get a $20 meal, or I could go to H-E-B and spend $5 on pasta and make my own sauce, and I can have enough servings for my husband and I, plus he can have leftovers for work the next day. Look into things that you're interested in and your favorite kind of foods, and I guarantee you it'll still be healthier than eating any of the frozen or the processed food that you see everywhere today. My next tip is do not fall victim to peer pressure and or marketing schemes right when you get on your phone. Right before you came on this YouTube channel, I am sure that there was an ad that played for something that you probably have spiked interest in at some point. I always get ads for Airbnb, VRBO, and all of this stuff because I talk about short-term rentals all the time. I get ads about food, and I got an ad about my Quicksilver credit card and all of this other stuff. Make sure that you're not being influenced by all of that stuff. Whenever it says that the brand new iPhone came out with all of this different great stuff, you can't be influenced to go spend $1,000 on a brand new phone. Wait for your cell phone company to have a deal to where you can at least get it for cheaper, or wait until your current phone that you have is at a place where you can upgrade to the next one. And you might not have that brand new iPhone, but you'll at least have one step closer. I remember when I saw the brand new iPhone commercial and I was blown away because they did such good marketing on that thing. That is just like every other item out there right now. People have gotten really good at marketing things. And whenever you scroll through TikTok, you see Amazon must-haves and you see 10 different items in one place and you're like, oh my God, I definitely need that thing that can organize my pots and pans in my cabinet, and that would make my life easier. It probably would, but you gotta make sure that you are spending your money properly. Do you absolutely need that pots and pans holder? You've been living with your pots and pans unorganized in your cabinet your entire life. Just think about stuff like that. And then also, whenever you have friends that are like, oh, I wanna hang out this weekend, what do you wanna do? And you're just like, oh, you can come over to my house, we can drink, or whatever you want to suggest for hanging out with your friends, and they're like, I kind of feel like going out, I kind of want to go to the bars. Just let them know, hey, I would like to go to the bars, however, I don't want to spend $90 going out tonight to have 5 drinks. And then maybe you can come to a consensus of, we can buy a bottle of this, and then you can come over to my house, or something like that. Or your friend says, I want to go shopping, and I want to go to the mall, or I want to go to, like if you're in San Antonio, I want to go to the Rim or La Cantera or something really nice. What if you suggest, let's go to the thrift store, let's go to Plato's Closet, let's go to Buffalo Exchange, let's go to Texas Thrift, let's go somewhere that is going to save us more money if we do end up buying something. I never suggest spending hundreds of dollars on a purse or a jacket or something that you think is necessary, because I personally don't think that that stuff is worth it. It is not helping you save money in the long run and meet those goals. And with the marketing schemes, delete, and I cannot emphasize enough, delete your email subscriptions. The email subscriptions are hindering you. I recently deleted all of my email subscriptions to, like, for instance, Victoria's Secret, Pink, PacSun, American Eagle, what's another place that I like? I don't know, Lush, Doc Martens. I got rid of all of those things because right when I got that email, I was like, oh, they have a sale. I clicked on it immediately, and then I was like, oh, maybe I need another pair of Docs, or maybe I need another pair of joggers from Victoria's Secret. The only subscription that I kept on my email, I think I kept 2. I kept Gymshark and I kept Article Furniture. Because one, Gymshark, whenever they do have their sales, that is when I want to run and go get those leggings, because like I said, a lot of my leggings have been worn out and I'm trying to replace them because I do wear them all the time. I wear them every day. So I want to make sure that I'm getting a good deal. I typically buy all of my Gymshark stuff at Black Friday and at their like semi-annual sale that they have like in June or July. But if they have another small sale in between and my leggings are ripped, then I will go ahead and buy something then. And then with our brand new house that we're building in Canyon Lake, I want to make sure that I can see any potential deals on Article, because I do plan on purchasing most of my furniture there. So I want to make sure I'm getting a deal, especially since I already know that I'm going to be purchasing that furniture in the future and I don't want to spend full price if I don't have to. My last tip is find additional ways to make money in your free time. Something I did when I was in college, and I feel like I've told a lot of people this, is I donated plasma in college. We had this place called BPL Plasma over by Angelo State University, and I would go there twice a week and donate plasma. Now, is this something that everyone can do? Probably not, especially if you have health conditions, any sort of issue that could hinder you from donating plasma. But this was just a great way for me to make some extra money. With my weight then, I made $20 each donation, and every single time I donated, I think 6 times, I got like an $80 bonus, and every time I donated 8 times a month, I got a $150 bonus on top of everything. So I was playing golf in college, so I didn't really have a job because I was at the golf course for hours and hours a day, and then twice a week we have 5 a.m. workouts, plus I was taking 5 classes and studying all night till 2 a.m. There was no way that I could have another job being a college athlete at that point. So I would always go and donate plasma. And I did need to make sure that I was hydrating myself enough and eating enough to make sure that that wasn't hindering my ability to perform in class and be awake and actually function properly after donating that much plasma. But the thing there is that they gave you a little like debit card that had your money loaded onto it. And it was great because what I did was I saved all of that money as much money as I could, and once I started working at the bank my last year of college, I was able to go ahead and just use my plasma money for my spending money, for my gas, for my insurance, for the things that I wanted to do. And then my check that I was getting from the bank, I literally saved all of it. I immediately put it into my savings account. So something I wanted to do after college was go visit Italy because my husband grew up there and that was gonna be his senior trip. So I needed to save up for my own plane ticket and my own portion of lodging and all that stuff. And I knew it was gonna cost a few $1,000s. So my goal before I graduated college was to save up $10,000. That way I could pay for my trip and I could also be living comfortably after I graduated and whenever I needed to find a job and everything. So I saved up that money just from donating plasma and using that as my bills and the things I wanted to do. And then with my actual paycheck that I got from the bank, I was saving that every single month and I was so happy. I was so happy that I was able to do that, and I really felt like I accomplished a lot. And the whole thing that I wanted to do after that was I wanted to buy a house. So I told my husband Isaac, like, okay, I have the money that I can spend for the trip, and then whenever we come back, we're gonna spend an entire year saving up and then we can buy a house. And that's exactly what we did. And we've just been moving forward from there. Another thing that you can do is obviously like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. But if you have any free time and you wanna sign up for one of those companies and that's your only way that you can make some extra money, go ahead and do it. Like, just make sure that you're being safe and doing what you need to do to make sure that you are staying safe while you're doing something like that. I really hoped you liked watching this video. Please leave a comment on some additional tips that you might have that save you money in the long run. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.